Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. I'm going to talk today about the process of visualization. Visualization is a process. It's been taught by all the great teachers and avatars throughout the centuries, and by all the great teachers living today. Charles Hannell wrote a book, The Master Key System. And back in 1912, he gives 24 weekly exercises to master visualization. He also teaches you how to master your thoughts. When you can control your thought energy and focus your energies on what you want to create instead of what's already been created, you can become the master of your world, mastering your thoughts, mastering the way you feel, creating what you want instead of just going along and bumping into whatever happens, or with worry, doubt, fear, and anger and anxiety, creating more of what you don't want. Visualization is so powerful because you create pictures in your mind. You see yourself with what it is that you want. You generate thoughts and feelings of having it now. Visualization is simply powerfully focused thought energy, picturing what you want and creating powerful feelings. You can decide what you want, you can think about what you want. Intellectually, you know what it would look like when you have it. But unless you get into the feeling of it already being here, already knowing it's yours, it doesn't matter how much you think about it. Sometimes when you think about what you want and you don't have it, it creates a distance. It moves it further away from you because you talk and think and feel like it's never going to happen. It's not coming. Why isn't it here yet? You see the absence of what you want, and then you create circumstances and situations of absence of it, the lack of it. Then you can get yourself into fear and anger and depression and dis-ease. Why it's not happening. When you're visualizing, you are emitting a powerful frequency out into the universe. The law of attraction takes hold of that powerful signal and it returns those pictures back to you just as you saw them in your mind. So as you're visualizing, you want to be in a relaxed state and you want to calm your central nervous system. Allow yourself to really be at ease and feeling what it would be like to have what you want. If you want a certain home, a certain vehicle, getting to not only what does the picture look like, you might write it out, you might draw it, you might just sit in your favorite chair and create a picture as if you're watching a movie. But the most important part, the secret to it, is feeling as if it's here, it's now. So it's in your mind, it's in your imagination. That means you've already created it in your imagination. It's in the invisible spiritual plane. When you attach emotion to it and you start to feel that it's really here, you get ideas, you start to take action, and you develop it into your experience. Sometimes you get that feeling of deja vu. You've already been somewhere, you've already been there in your mind, and then you experience it in reality. That's how everything has been created. First, it starts in the mind. So if you get a picture of something that you truly desire, something you want more than anything, what would that look like? How would you describe it? You're rehearsing your future. You're practicing what you want instead of what you don't want. Research has been done that people who practice physically, so think about basketball players, they're practicing physically, they're on the court, they're bouncing the ball, they're making baskets, they're practicing their shots over and over and over. The more they practice doing well, practice before a big game, there's a 25% increase in the success of their game in making the shots in a game situation. But it's been proven that if they just sit back and visualize, get relaxed, visualize themselves bouncing the ball and making the basket over and over and over, rehearsing it in their mind while they're sitting in their favorite chair, while they're just daydreaming about it, 24% success rate. So visualization, visualizing what you really want, is almost as effective as physically practicing it. Studies have been done on piano players, like playing music, playing sports. Visualizing it in your mind is almost as effective as doing it in real life practice. So you're not wasting time. You're not daydreaming. You are visualizing what you really want. And then the universe can deliver it to you because you're open to receiving it. This is what Dr. Dennis Waitley said. I took the visualization process from the Apollo program and instituted it during the 1980s and 1990s into the Olympic program. It was called Visual Motor Rehearsal. When you visualize, then you materialize. Here's an interesting thing about the mind. We took Olympic athletes and had them run their event only in their mind, and then hooked them up to sophisticated biofeedback equipment. Incredibly, the same muscles fired in the same sequence when they were running the race in their mind as when they were running it on the track. How could this be? Because the mind cannot distinguish whether you're really doing it or whether it's just a practice. If you've been there in your mind, you will go there in your body. Isn't that fascinating? If you go there in your mind, you will go there in your body. Think about inventors and their inventions, the Wright brothers and the airplane, George Eastman and film, Thomas Edison and the light bulb, Alexander Graham Bell and the telephone. The only way anything has ever been invented or created is because one person saw a picture in his mind. He saw it clearly. And by holding that picture, of the end result in his mind, all the forces of the universe brought his invention into the world through him. These inventors knew the secret. These are people who had utter faith in the invisible. They knew the power within them to leverage the universe and bring the invention into the visible. Their faith and their imagination have been the cause of the evolution of humankind, and we reap the benefits of their creative minds every day. And you might be thinking, well, I don't have a mind like these great inventors. You might be thinking, well, they could imagine those things, but I can't. You can do whatever they did. This is the great secret, the knowledge that when you learn that you not only have access, you have the same mind that they have, you can tap into universal intelligence. You can create the next great thing, like the cell phone, medical instruments, beautiful buildings. That's what architects and designers and artists do. They see a picture in their mind and then they create it in reality. The home that you live in was once an idea, and then it was put down on paper and created in reality. What would you like to create? When you're visualizing, you've got to get the picture playing out in your mind and only dwell on the end result. Don't worry about how it could happen. Just picture what it is that you would like. So Bob Proctor and Mike Dooley talk about a little exercise you can do, a little example. Look at the back of your hand. Just right now, look at the back of your hand. Really look at the color of your skin, the freckles, the blood vessels, any rings that you might be wearing, your fingernails. Take in all of those details. And then, just before you close your eyes, see your hands wrapped around the steering wheel of your brand new car. Bob Proctor would give an exercise like, what kind of car would you love to be driving? A BMW, a Lexus, a Porsche, a Mercedes, a Maserati? You could be driving any kind of vehicle, and from inside the car, you could pretend that that steering wheel was the steering wheel of your dream vehicle. When you close your eyes, you could feel the stitching on the leather steering wheel. You could smell the interior of the new car. You could hear the sound of the roar of the engine. You could feel yourself in the freedom of that vehicle that you really would love to be driving. And not talking about you don't have the money, or it can't happen, or it's going to take too long, or it's too much. What do you want? It's such a holographic experience. It can feel so real in the moment that you don't even feel as if you need the vehicle because it feels like you already have it. You want to get to a point when you're visualizing that it feels so real. Your visualization is so real that when you open your eyes, and you see the real physical world around you, it almost comes like a jolt. But that state of being, that plane is real. It is the field where everything is created. The physical field, the physical plane is just the result of the real field of all creation. That's why you won't feel as if you need it anymore, because you've tuned in and felt the real field of creation through your visualization. In that field, you have everything now. Bob Proctor would say we live on 3 planes of understanding: spiritual, intellectual, and physical. So if you quiet down your physical body and close out some of the physical reality that is now, blocking out your 5 senses, closing your eyes, getting quiet, and just allowing yourself to relax. When you tap into that field of creation, visualize, well, you could be sitting in Canada in the middle of winter, it's 40 below, and you can be visualizing yourself on a beach in Hawaii where it's an ideal temperature. You're sitting under a palm tree, you're walking in the beautiful ocean, you're feeling the water lap up on your toes, you're smelling the ocean breeze. You can get into visualization so clearly that it's like you're watching a movie. It's like you're really there. And we can do it all the time. You know, when I was at work, sometimes I would visualize what's going on at home. Is my baby and toddler safe with the babysitter? I would make up all kinds of things and I would worry and doubt. And you can be on vacation and worried about what's happening at work. Is your work piling up? How much do you have to do when you get back? You can get into some crazy states of anxiety by predicting what might be happening. It's the feeling that creates the attraction, not just the picture or the thought. A lot of people think if I think positive thoughts or if I visualize having what I want, that's going to be enough. But if you're doing that and you're still not feeling abundant, you're not feeling happy, joyful, loving, then it does not create the power of attraction. You can put yourself in the feeling of, I wish I could get the car, or someday I'll have that car, but that's not a definite feeling associated with already having it. It's not in the now, it's in the future. So if you stay in that feeling of someday I'll have it, or that's what I want, that's what I'm going after, that's what I wish I could create, it will always be in the future. Your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen. The how will show up out of a commitment and a belief in what it is that you want. The feeling, the inner seeing will begin to be an open doorway through which the power of the universe will begin to express itself. Mike Dooley says the hows are the how it's going to happen. That's the domain of the universe. Whether you say God, higher intelligence, universe, It always knows the shortest, fastest, quickest, most harmonious way between you and your dream. Dr. Joe Vitale in the book The Secret said, if you turn it over to the universe, you'll be surprised and dazzled by what is delivered to you. This is where the magic and the miracles happen. Imagine that you're already there. What would you be experiencing? How would you describe it? How would it feel? Sandy Gallagher, who is Bob Proctor's partner, says, visioneering is when you truly begin to create your world through the effective use of your imagination. You create and hold the image of what you want. And Bob always said, the universe is always for expansion and fuller expression. Get into the habit of visualizing, feeling good about life, feeling good about what's on its way to you, and feel as if it's already done. All the teachers of The Secret are all aware of the elements that you bring into play when you visualize. As you see the picture in your mind and you feel it, you're bringing yourself to a place of believing you have it now. You are implementing trust and faith in the universe because you are focusing on the end result and experiencing the feeling of that in the now, in the present moment, without giving any attention whatsoever to how it's going to come about. The picture in your mind, seeing it as done, you're feeling and seeing it as it's done, it's here, it's now. Your mind and your entire state of being are seeing as it's already happened. That is the art of visualization. Now you want to do this for a few minutes every single day, but not doing it as you have to do it. It's not a chore. It's not a task to check off on your to-do list. What's really important to the whole of this is feeling good about it. You want to feel exhilarated by this process. You want to be happy, in tune with infinite love, infinite possibilities, infinite creation. You want to be happy, high, in tune, healthy, the highest vibrational frequency. Everyone has the power to visualize. Everyone visualizes whether he knows it or not. And visualizing is the great secret of success. So if you just have a static picture in your mind, it can be difficult to hold that picture. So you want to create a lot of movement. See yourself holding the trophy. See yourself standing on the podium at the Olympics. See yourself walking through every room of the house. See yourself driving the car of your dreams. Genevieve Behrend said, we all possess more power and greater possibilities than we realize. And visualizing is one of the greatest of these powers. It's such a powerful process. Marcy Shimoff said, the only difference between people who live this way, who live in the magic of life, and those who don't, is that the people who live in the magic of life have habituated ways of being. They've made a habit of using the law of attraction, And the magic happens with them wherever they go because they remember to use it. They use it all the time. It's not a one-time event. They use it over and over and over. They practice it. Now, one way of practicing it is to write out what it is. Bob Proctor would say, write what you want. Set it as an intention. Set it as a goal. Write it down in one sentence on a goal card and carry that card with you everywhere you go. And then you could laminate it. And then when you reach into your pocket and you touch that goal card, you know what's written on that card, and it sends an impulse, a wave from your fingertips into your brain. It reminds you, remind. It tells your mind, oh yes, bring this picture. This is what we're going after. This is what we want to experience. This is where I'm going. That's the destination. It's like setting your GPS on your vehicle. You could write it down, carry it with you, put sticky notes all over the place. It's about remembering to do it. And then no one can prevent you from getting what you want except yourself. You have the power to create whatever it is that you want, but you have to practice it. You have to rehearse it. You have to see it in your mind. And as you write about it, you get new ideas, you get thoughts that are associated with that end picture. You get ideas, and as you take action on those ideas, it takes you one step closer. The magic is in believing that it's yours and going out and getting it, doing it, expressing it. You are a spirit in a body. That spirit is always for expression and fuller expansion. And as you take action, you are expanding this world. You're expanding your world. You're creating more of what you want. You could say, I know I am receiving this now. Expectation is a powerful, attractive force. Expect what you want is going to show up. Don't expect what you don't want. Expect, give thanks for what you want in advance so that turbocharges your desires and it sends a more powerful signal out into the universe. Visualize yourself enjoying what you want. Generate those powerful thoughts and feelings of having it now, and the law of attraction will return that to you as reality, just the way you saw it in your mind. Use the law of attraction to your advantage. Make it your habitual way of being. And at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, go back through the events of the day, and anything that didn't happen the way you wanted it to, replay it in your mind the way you did want it to be. Allow the frequency of your thoughts to be in tune with what you want. Allow your feelings to be at ease, expecting good, and practice that over and over and over, and notice that's what's showing up in your life. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Thank you.